It still hurts, guys. It still hurts. Mate, that was tough to take yesterday. And then you wake up. You have that few moments of waking up of just not knowing what's happened. You know what I mean? That ignorance. And then it hits you again, and you're like, shit, yeah, we got relegated yesterday. And there's so much to talk about. You know, like what's next for West Ham. But just looking back on what's happened and how we got it, an absolute mess. A lot of stories are coming out now about Nuno behind the scenes. What a disaster he was. Telling people he don't trust them. Players, coaching staff, freezing people out. Just an absolute disastrous appointment. Disastrous appointment after disastrous appointment. And it can only be David Sullivan to blame. Only David Sullivan. Ah, mate. Like, the thing is, you know, it's been coming. It's been coming. It just hurts even more when it actually happens. And then the added little bonus of it being against them. Spurs. Yeah, it was tough. And that's probably the most empty I've ever felt after a 3-0 win. The most empty. But bad recruitment at manager level, at player level, season after season after season. You sell Declan Rice for 100 million and you just buy a load of old, slow players. And then a lot of those players, you know, have no sell-on value. None of them are good enough. So what do you have to do? You have to keep loaning them out, or taking a cut price at sale, you know, for them. And then you go, right, okay, we're going to go in a new direction. We're going to have this director of football. Moyes, you're going to be a head coach now. Moyes says, nah, I don't fancy being a head coach. I'm out. All right, well, you know, we'll go in this new direction with the director of football. Right, let's get Lopetegui in. Yeah, because he's out of work. He's free. Let's go get Lopetegui in. No one wanted. You get Lopetegui in. He turns out to be completely useless. Doesn't know what his best team is. Months into the season, he goes. Your director of football goes. And then you go and decide to make yourself, that's David Sullivan, the director of football. A porn baron. And you hire Graham Potter because he's mates with Karen Brady's mate's flipping husband, whatever the hell nepotism BS that is. And he proceeds to be another disaster. Completely alienates senior players, clears them out, and has us leaking goals left, right and centre. Big reason why our goal difference was the mess that it was. And he gets sacked 2 months into the season. And you bring in Nuno, who was honestly one of the most cowardly managers I've ever seen at West Ham. You bring Nuno in and you don't let him have his backroom staff. I'll give Nuno that. No backroom staff for you. So he gets the academy backroom staff. And you know what? The Everton game, we see an impact. We see an improvement. We draw that game, I believe. But you'd have something, you go, do you know what? There's something there. There was some fight there. And then he goes, right, whatever I did in that Everton game, I'm just going to scrap that up and go completely crazy for the Brentford game. I'm going to invert the fullbacks. I'm going to play them completely on the opposite sides. I'm going to play the crappiest, slowest midfield you've ever seen in your life with Rodriguez and Irvin. And then we're going to get battered. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it again the next game. And you've thrown away 2 key games. And then you learn your lesson. But we still don't. We're still not winning games. We're still down in the dumps. You know, we were 2 points off safety when he joined. We're now 2 points off safety. 0 impact. And he eventually gets Paco in, backroom staff, and things start to turn around with some signings. But again, he throws so many games away. He throws so many opportunities away. How do you get it so wrong time and time again? I tell you how, because you haven't got a clue, Sullivan. He's absolutely killed this football club. He's taken us out of Upton Park to the London Stadium. For what? For Championship football. Like Lucky said on the fan cams on West Ham Fan TV, we promised the Champions League, we were given the Championship. The absolute fucking front they've got to say in their statement, West Ham United is a football club whose unique identity is defined not by success or failure on the pitch, but by the values and traditions of our roots in East London and the spirit of the people who have claret and blue in their hearts. How dare you talk about the club's identity when you have ripped it away from us? The values and traditions of this club that you sold for success. It's not defined by success. You sold our identity, our values and traditions for success. We need to move to London Stadium to compete with the big boys. To compete for Champions League. Oh, I hope we can see us winning the league one year. We have to move to compete. We moved. And now we're competing, yeah, with the teams at the top end of the table, but the top end of the Championship. We hope. I despise David Sullivan with every fibre of my being. I absolutely loathe that man and what he's done to this great football club. You know, and what is next for West Ham? Oh, I mean, look, when it comes to David Sullivan, we just have to hope that, you know, he just calls it quits. He's had enough. He's getting too old now for this. He's just got to call it time on the club, and that's hope. Reality is the transfers will come. The sales will come. Bowen's made some positive noises that he could potentially stay, which is great. You know, if he does and he helps us come back up, look, he's had a poor year in 2026. But if he helps us get back up, he's a legend. You know, if he agrees to stay. But it's not completely his choice. If they sell him, then he'll go. But yeah, a lot of players are going to go. Somerville, Fernandez. Get that waste of space to youth out, mate. Jeez. Remember when we thought he was good? Because he had a bit of pace. Awful. You know, a lot of these players will go. Apparently we need to raise around £150 million in sales. It's a lot of money. And we're going to have dead wood. We have more dead wood. I don't know what happens with Fulkrug. I don't know how we get rid of that guy. He is completely injury prone. Awful signing. Maxwell Cornet the same. There was sort of like James Ward-Prowse having a chat with someone about him being one of the players that, you know, definitely wants out because, you know, we didn't think he was good enough for us in the Premier League, and it's like now we think he's good enough for the Championship. Championship's his level. James Ward-Prowse, the Championship is his level. So listen, if he thinks he can go get a Prem team, go get a Prem team. Get him off the books. He's another player that we overpaid for and signed on big money, and again was one of the players to replace Declan Rice. Absolute waste of time that was. Alvarez, will have him back off loan. I don't know if he'll stay. I don't know if he'll fancy it. He could go. Mavropanos, he's been really good. He's going to get a lot of interest. He'll go. Wan-Bissaka will go. Not that he's been any good this season. So a lot of players are going to go, and then we'll have to go and get a new manager. Probably Scott Parker. I loved Scott Parker at West Ham. Broke my heart when he went to Spurs. Doesn't fill me with any excitement. He does well at getting teams out of the league. Knows the club. Can get us up. But then just as easily take us back down again. That's the problem you have with Scott Parker. And then there's Dyche. I'm sure Sullivan will be salivating all over Dyche. He loves these managers, these negative managers. Again, could get us up. Could even potentially just about keep us up. It's not looking good. Like I said, until Sullivan's gone, there's no hope for this club. Bournemouth and Sunderland have European football. Brighton have European football. 11,000 seat stadium Bournemouth have. And they finished 6th. This close to getting Champions League football. This close. Sold big players. You know, Eddie Howe, they got rid of Eddie Howe. He ended up going. Oh, God, no. Like, what are Bournemouth going to do without Eddie Howe? Be careful what you wish for, Bournemouth. Crazy. So, we just, as West Ham fans, got to just wait it out. And hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, that there's something positive around the corner. Because we've been through it. And I think this time we get just a bit of enjoyment out of football. So hopefully, look, we go down, we get a manager that we can get behind. We enjoy watching our team and we smash the league and just come straight back up, because we need to come straight back up, because if we don't, we could end up being another Forest, another Leeds, God forbid a Leicester. It's just horrible, man. It's horrible. So I'll keep up to date. I'm still going to do this in the Championship. I'm not going anywhere. Hopefully there'll be a lot of smiles and happiness. You know, where we're seeing us just smash teams every week. And I don't know, man. I'm just... we'll just keep up to date with all the goings on. There's going to be a lot of fallout, a lot of stories, a lot of things to talk about on here and West Ham Fan TV. So I'll be around. But, well, let me know what you think happens next with West Ham. And where you think it all went wrong. And let's see how many people can resist mentioning David Moyes in that. Completely just lazy ignorance. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.